The comma is sports. Let's go.
Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back. Relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink. And let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Family, family, family. How you doing? The doors are now open. Come on in. I'm Dove Jackson, and this is your Saints Juice of the Day. Hope everybody is having a very good Thursday. One day away from the weekend, baby. The weekend is almost here. We got to get through tomorrow and tonight. With that being said, family, this is we're going to react to young Isaiah Foskey, the 41st pick in last year's draft out of Notre Dame by the New Orleans Saints. Foskey struggled last year, and a lot of it had to do with himself and being in his head, not knowing the playbook, not being sure of himself. And we said that last year when we were watching him. You can see he was thinking on the field. He was not cutting loose. As we have continually heard Coach Allen say, he just has to cut it loose. He just wants him to cut it loose. Well, recently, Isaiah Foskey spoke, and here's what he had to say, family.
So you would have got the sack.
Yeah, me and Payne there. Yeah, that was there right there.
Did you get the tip on it as well?
No, that was someone inside. I forgot who it was.
Okay.
They got the tip on it.
Yeah, and so you've been making kind of a lot of those plays. What have you just noticed in your growth this offseason, or what have you tried to approach this?
I feel like going into the second year, just like a lot more confidence in the game plan, knowing the plays, and just like the main thing was just like confidence in it and just work.
All right, family, I'm gonna stop it right there as we go through. Like I was saying, we saw it last year. It was evident the young man was lacking confidence. He didn't know the playbook. He was unsure where to go and what to do. So he was thinking, and so he was unable to use his God-given talents to just be what he was at Notre Dame, a menace, a wrecking ball. Remember, Isaiah Foskey left Notre Dame as the all-time leader in that school's history in sacks, and they had such players as Justin Tuck play at Notre Dame. So again, we hear Foskey say he was what in his head? Confidence. He was not confident. He was not sure in himself or in what he was supposed to do. Let's hear some more from Isaiah.
Working with all my offseason coaches and getting my speed right, working with TG throughout the offseason, telling me what I need to work on, coming back and just proving what I can do.
What were some of those things that they encouraged you to work on or focus on? Or?
Pretty much, like you guys have been hearing, like from DA, just pretty much just go. And that was just like, I guess like a mental block for myself, just go. That's what I was just really working on. First few steps getting up the field with TG was telling me, striking, really commit to the pass rush move. That's all the stuff I've been working on.
Like, can you tell in real time, like last season, that you were maybe hesitant on a few plays, or is it looking back? Or okay,
I definitely was a little hesitant looking back from last year, and I feel like that was just like me just trying not to make a mistake. But then now,
okay, again, he was hesitant last year, and I like him. Accountability. This young man's taking accountability for his struggles last year. Again, he's thinking too much. Just go. That's what we all wanted to see him do. Just go. And this offseason, he's worked with TG TG, for those who don't know, is the trainer who worked with the longtime trainer, I believe, of the great Aaron Donald, if I'm not mistaken. So the kid's been putting in work on the this all season, and his name has been mentioned a few times at OTAs. But again, they're in shells. There's no pads, no helmets. There's no contact. So this OTAs basically is a what? OTAs, when you think about it, it's all about what? Honing your skills as far as fundamentals. OTAs has to be about fundamentals, understanding whichever the scheme that you're running, and we can see that he is much comfortable in the scheme this year, in the scheme that the Saints run, because now he knows what he's supposed to do and where he's supposed to go. And hopefully this young man can just let go when he's on the football field. Let's finish with Isaiah.
I'm just pretty much going full speed.
Yeah, DA's used the phrase to play free.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I feel like playing free is just playing with confidence, playing with that little swagger. And I feel like that's why I finally got back throughout this OTAs.
Okay. Playing with confidence, playing with swagger. I feel that's what I've got back in these OTAs. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with a swag. He didn't have that last year. Why? Because when a lot of rookies come in, and it wasn't just Isaiah Foskey. There are rookies all around the league when they come in. The wealth of knowledge that they're getting when they come into an NFL organization, it can be great, man. And you have to process all of that. And at the same time, hey, I was a second round pick. I was this at Notre Dame. I was the all-time sack leader at Notre Dame. I'm coming to the New Orleans Saints. Now I'm on the totem. I got to work my way on the field, even though I'm a second round pick. They got Cam Jordan, they got Granderson, they got Tano Passion, they drafted Brian Bresee. So, I don't want to make a mistake. And sometimes you can want to be so right till you'll be so wrong, if that makes any sense. Let me read that back and hear what he said right. I want y'all to listen to what he said.
Play free.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I feel like playing free is just playing with confidence, playing with that little swagger. And I feel like that's why I finally got back throughout this OTAs.
Got back. So was that something you felt like you had, was last year a little challenging on you?
Yeah, I would say that just coming into the NFL, I feel like I didn't get a good grasp of it going into like the rookie year. And I feel like from there it's just like a downfall towards at the end of it.
What did you learn just about yourself going through that process?
I just need to trust that I can do what I can do, just not really get outside of what I can't do or what I can do. Like really just trust in what I can do, pass rush move. I know I'm strong enough, I know I'm fast enough, I know I'm quick enough, and just trust it.
Have you
Trust. If you want the coaches to trust you, first off, you got to trust yourself. And now this young man is trusting himself. He did not trust himself last year. He was uncertain from the first step he took. He was uncertain. Did I take the right angle? Did I rush through the right lane? Was I supposed to drop in coverage? Do I have the back on this play? Is the flat my responsibility or the third? There's a lot of stuff that goes into playing football. And you heard the young man say, hey, coming to the NFL last year, man, it was a lot. It was a lot for him.
change anything with your body from last year to this year?
Body-wise, no. I just pretty much just got stronger. That was like the main focus throughout the offseason, just getting stronger.
Without Cam and Chase on the field right now, it's giving you more reps, more opportunities. How valuable is that for you?
Oh, yeah, I love that. Even though I like to see Cam on the field or Chase on the field, but for me, I just take the opportunity of the plays.
What for last year, what was it about the NFL that really kind of surprised you or contributed to that learning curve that you're talking about?
I feel it was just learning the whole playbook, and I feel it was just in my own head, just trying not to make a mistake. And then that was just throughout the whole entire year, just in my head. Don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. But now I got the whole defense under 1 year, going full speed just helped a lot.
And there was a stretch last year where you were hurt for a bit, but then when you came back, it was like a pretty big moment. Cam was hurt. Like,
See if you guys caught that. Let's listen right there.
Playbook, and I feel it was just like in my
Talking about the
what was it about
playbook.
the NFL that really kind of surprised you or contributed to that learning curve that you're talking about?
I feel it was just like learning the whole playbook, and I feel
Learning, didn't we say that at the beginning? Learning the playbook. And again, you saw it, I saw it, the coaches saw it. He struggled with that last year. But there was I want to say around, I believe that Green Bay game where he started flashing. He flashed that game. And the next week he also, you start seeing him out there more. You start seeing him kind of, relaxing a little bit, kind of knowing what he was doing, and then he gets hurt. But now he's had the entire offseason. It's not his rookie season. He knows what they expect in the NFL now. He knows what he's going to have to do to become a professional, to be a pro, and to succeed here in the National Football League at the highest level. And one thing is for sure, he has great tutors in the locker room, and Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, Colin Saunders. The list goes on and on. So again, I was excited when the Saints got Isaiah Foskey last year. He was one of the players that I identified. I think the kid has tremendous upside. I think he's very talented, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing him, be part of this rotation this season. He has to be part of the rotation. Running downs, passing downs. He has to be part of that rotation with Cam, Chase, Carl, Peyton, and Isaiah. They have to. He has to be part of it, man. And listen, if he can come out and be solid this year against the run and get 4.5 to 5 sacks as a rotational player, that's great. I'm sure the kid will want to get double-digit sacks. Who wouldn't? But we got to be realistic right now. I, for one, can't wait till the pass come on, and so we can really see how far along this young man has come. Let's finish up with Isaiah Foskey.
I feel it was just like in my own head, just trying not to make a mistake, and then that was just throughout the whole entire year, just in my head. Don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake. But now I got the whole defense under 1 year, going full speed, just helped a lot.
And there was a stretch last year where you were hurt for a bit, but then when you came back, it was like a pretty big moment. Cam was hurt, like you kind of had some opportunity there. Did you maybe let it get to your head of like, all right, here's my chance, and overthought it maybe? Or I don't know.
I felt like a little bit, but it was also, that was like a little learning curve too, like really trying to take care of my body, make sure I'm available to play in those games. But that was like a little learning curve that I just had to learn pretty much like the hard way.
All right, family. That was Isaiah Foskey. When we come back, we'll head over to Saints News Network and our brother John Hendricks. About 25 half an hour ago, wrote the article about a topic that we covered here a few weeks ago on the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast about Dennis Allen, how he is viewed among his peers. We'll be right. How you doing? Come on in. The Come On In Sports Network invites you to join us for the 9th annual Kelly Mills Fundamentals of Football Camp. This year's camp will be Saturday, June 29th at 9 a.m. at Harrell Playground in New Orleans, Louisiana. Donations are welcome, and if you would like to be a guest speaker, please contact the legendary Coach Rock at 504-417-2529. See you then. All right, family, welcome back. This is your Saints Juice of the Day. I'm DOLPH Jackson, the host of the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast and a proud member of the Come On In Sports Network. Before we went to break, family, we were going to head over to Saints News Network where our brother John Hendricks just wrote the article about how Dennis Allen is viewed by his peers in the National Football League. Of course, this is something that we touched on, like I said before the break, a few weeks ago. Let's see what our brother John had to say about this article. Saints head coach Dennis Allen comes in dead last in rankings amongst peers. Let's read it. I'm gonna highlight this because this is it's one thing for us as the Who That Nation to say that we think our head coach is lacking in a lot of areas when it comes to being the leader of this football team. But when you have those, his alumni, his fraternity of coaches around the National Football League who vote him dead last of returning head coaches. This doesn't include first year coaches. This list was all the returning head coaches from last season. Let's see what our brother John writes here. John writes, Dennis Allen faces a very important year with the Saints, and it's a season in which he needs to deliver. Outside opinions and views of New Orleans aren't exactly favorable these days. USA Today contributor Jared Bailey of Touchdown Wire put out his rankings of NFL coaches on Thursday morning, which saw the New Orleans head coach coming in dead last. Here's what he said. Dennis Allen is the head coaching version of sitting on a whoopee cushion. The Saints have been dreadfully boring with no sense of direction ever since Sean Payton stepped away. Let's highlight this, family. I'm gonna highlight this. So let's go back this because I think this is important. This is important. Again, this is not DOLPH. This is not you. This is not TJ. This is not Big Q. This is not Hoodie. This is not the Nota Bros. This is not the Boo Tragedies. This is not Matt Moscona. The Saints have been dreadfully boring with no sense of direction ever since Sean Payton stepped away. They are 16 and 18 over their last two seasons and find themselves in quarterback purgatory as Derek Carr is clearly not the future. Many of you in Who That Nation after one season feel the same way. Derek Carr is not the dude. He is not the future. We will have two young men battling to be his backup this season. Will Jake Hayner or will Spencer Rattler be the heir apparent to Derek Carr and also the future of this team? He goes on to write, the Saints' best option would be to finally blow everything up and begin to rebuild in 2025. There it is. Outside media, that's their favorite word. Blow it all up. Blow everything up and begin to rebuild in 2025. The Saints have already started to rebuild. Think about it. Saints have started to rebuild. They moved on from some players. This year, they cut back on their spending. They were actually formable, knowledgeable, wise in the way that they had handled the salary cap this season so far. Still in the whole season, never know. But the Saints are doing a rebuild on the fly. But outside of Who That Nation and that building on airlines, people around the country and the nation, they say just blow it up and rebuild in 2025. In other words, they want the Saints to have a fire sale, get rid of everybody, get rid of all your key players, and just start from scratch. You know how long it takes to get something from scratch, to get back to being vulnerable from scratch. Now, like it or not, the Saints are 2 games under 500 in Dennis Allen's first 2 seasons. They're 16 and 18. They had a 2-game improvement from the previous year, last season, 9 and 8. We all know how that went. A uninspiring 9 and 8 should have been 10 and 7 or better, but it is what it is. But think about this: despite Dennis Allen's shortcomings as a head coach and the futility of the former offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael and his strategy and play calling and use of the available talent that he had at his beck and call, the Saints still were in contention for the playoffs at the end of the season, both seasons. So he goes on to say it would be 3 years after they should have done it, but better late than never. Allen was asked after OTAs on Wednesday about a lot of the outside talk regarding the Saints and their outlook this season, to which he responded, "I could care less what the expectations are outside this building." From a grammatical standpoint, he clearly meant that he could care less, and that's the general belief within the organization. I applaud Dennis Allen right there. That's how you should feel. All that matters is what those people in that building, those coaches, those players, those trainers, you understand? Those are the people that matter the most. Then, of course, who that nation. But those people in the building, those people who are out there putting in the work at OTAs, in the weight room, the entire off season. I totally agree with Dennis Allen right here. There are some out there now saying you're finding something negative about this, what the man said, because you just don't care for Dennis Allen. You don't want to be fair. Some of us don't want to be fair. But when things happen to us, and we are portrayed some way or misunderstood, we want a second chance. We want an opportunity to right our wrong. We want people to give us grace. A lot of us need grace. I know I do, because none of us are perfect. So again, I know about Dennis Allen's shortcomings as a head coach, but at the same time, I agree with what Coach said right here. And he shouldn't care. All he should care about is gaining the confidence and trust of the football team that he has been the leader of for the last 2 years and has missed the playoffs. He is absolutely right. His total being and concentration and attention should be on getting this team back to the playoff, winning the division, winning a playoff game or 2. That should be his main objective. So I applaud him for that. Then the writer goes on to say, what's interesting is that Sports Info Solutions put together their model for the Saints season and came away more favorable than the Vegas odds. Now the Sports Info Solutions, the Sports Info Solutions put together a model. They had the Saints at 10 and a half wins. Now Vegas had the Saints at 7.5. Now, how the hell you win 7.5 or 10.5 games now in the football league? I have no man. It's 10 wins or 7 wins. Vegas had them at 7. Sports Info Solution had them at 10. New Orleans has been close a lot of the times, but they're 3 years removed from being in the postseason. We know they can probably get to that 8 or 9 win total, but it's going to take them actually beating better teams to get that extra win they've been missing. They're going to have Saints going to have to find a way to beat the Eagles, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Cowboys. They're going to have to find a way to beat two of them teams, fam. They go at least have to go 2-2 in those games. The Saints going to have to beat two really good football playoff teams. And, excuse me, I forgot about Green Bay. We go to Green Bay late in the season in December. The scheduling guards didn't do the Saints any favor with that due to the weather. And we all know that loss last year against Green Bay wasn't the sole reason the Saints missed the playoffs, but it was a major reason. When you're up 17-0 in the fourth quarter, despite losing your starting quarterback, you shouldn't lose that game. All right. And he goes on to write, the Saints can't be a team that misses the playoff this year, and being close finishes just don't cut it. Whether or not that prompts a change of the guard, there are some things with the team that gives a sense of caution, gives a sense of cautious optimism. And it's going to be on New Orleans to prove that they won't end up in mediocrity again. So, dead last among his peers, Dennis Allen. Again, we went over this on the previous show. Thanks to John Hendricks for that great article there. So, outside of Louisiana, outside of Who Dat Nation, Saints are not looked upon as a favorable team. But Vegas, of course, has us for seven wins. And what was this? What's the name of this? I'm going to go to this. Sports Info Solutions had the Saints as a double-digit win team. How about that? 10-7. Again, Saints are going to have to beat two good teams this year. I say 11-6. They at least have to be 11-6. And if you want to read that article, family, here at Touchdown Wire. Let's go and let's see. Here it is right here, family. There it is right there. All right. Let's see. Let me share that with you. This is the article on Touchdown Wire, family, ranking the NFL coaches from 32 to 1. It's the beginning of June, which means we are deep into list season. Speaking of, go and give DOLPH position rankings a read when you're done here. So here we go. Yes, we're cranking out our lists and opinions as we're held captive by big content in a secondary location that we aren't allowed to leave to ensure all of you reading are well fed until training camp arrives. With that said, it's time to talk. It's time to talk the menu under the headset that range from former players to former ball boys to dudes who are just smart and know how to run an offense or design a defense from 32 to 1. Here are my 2024 NFL head coaching rankings, and dead last, family, is our coach, Dennis Allen. So for all those who say that we don't have a right to feel the way we do about Dennis Allen, we're not alone. There are people who are not as close to this football team as we are, and they see there's a problem with the Saints, and they feel it's Dennis Allen. Has Dennis Allen shown growth? He seems to have shown growth since his first season. Again, 7 wins to 9 wins. It is what it is. Still missed the playoffs. Still didn't win the division. But let's see what they said about Dennis Allen and why he's number 32. Dennis Allen is the head coaching version. We just read that, so it's the same thing. Okay, now, but look who's 31. Matt Eberflus, Chicago Bears. If I'm not mistaken, isn't he like the? So he's of the Bears. He's been there for 2 years. Jared Mayo just hired by the Patriots this offseason is ranked ahead of Dennis Allen. Brian Daboll of the New York Giants is ranked ahead of Dennis Allen. I don't know about that one. I don't know what we're going to get from Mayo. Eberflus better than Dennis Allen? Okay. Robert Saleh of the New York Jets is 28. Brian Callahan of Tennessee. Let me think. Brian Callahan. He's the first-year coach of the Titans, and he's ranked ahead of Dennis Allen. Todd Bowles back in Tampa. He's ranked. He's 26. Ain't really nothing to write home about, but Todd Bowles is ranked ahead of Dennis Allen. And by the way, that means Dennis Allen is the worst, is worded as the worst coach in the NFC South. Antonio Pierce started his first year with the Raiders, is ahead of Dennis Allen. Dave Canales, first year coach in Carolina, they have ranked ahead of Dennis Allen. Mike McDaniel in Seattle, first year. Mike McCarthy at 22. I don't know if Mike McCarthy should be at 22. You don't have the team, the man's averaging 12 wins a season. I'm just saying. Dan Quinn just left the Cowboys to go to the Commanders. We saw Dan Quinn in his first stint as a head coach. He didn't impress me then. Again, some people are just better coordinators than head coaches. Raheem Morris, number 20. That's every team in the NFC South. Falcons, Panthers, Bucks, and Saints. So the Saints have the worst. If you go by this, the Saints have the worst coaches, have the worst fraternity of head coaches in the National Football League. And I ain't gonna go through this whole list, but you know Andy Reid is number one. Look, they got Jonathan Gannon ahead of them. Nick Sirianni, Doug Peterson, Sean Payton, Mike McDaniel, I agree. Jim Harbaugh, I agree. Kevin O'Connell, Minnesota. Shane Stitchem, the coach, got him to the playoffs. Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland, coach of the year. Sean McDermott, Buffalo, can't get over the hump, can't get to the Super Bowl. D'Amico Rams, what more you gonna say? Everybody's darlings. Shout out to the Swarm. Shout out to the lead. Number 8, Dan Campbell. Zach Taylor, the Bengals, is 7. John Harbaugh of the Ravens is 6. Matt LaFleur, Green Bay, 5. Kyle Shanahan just can't win the big one. Number 4. Mike Tomlin, one of the greatest ever to do it, is number 3. Sean McVay is number 2 and pretty much took Dennis Allen and his defense to school last year in that game in LA. And number 1, of course, is none other than Mr. Hardware himself, Andy Reid. Again, family, if you want to go and read this entire list for yourself, this is courtesy of this Touchdown Wire. It's published by USA Today, and you can go and look at this article for yourself. Well, family, that's gonna do it for your Saints Juice of the day. I'm DOLPH Jackson, reminded you all to please, if you can, donate your time, your cooking skills, your neighborly love. If there are any kids that you know in your neighborhood that are friends with your sons, your daughters, your nephews, your nieces, bring them out to coach's football camp on the 29th. Again, it's a free camp. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Not only for the kids, but for those who would like to speak and give these kids some encouragement. again, coach, this season, coach is looking to supply these kids with cleats this year. You guys can look for not only coach and myself, but you can look for Hoodie Juvie to be out there again this year. Our family member, shout out to JT, who cooked an abundance of food last year that was very good, but me and coach wouldn't know about the rest because we only got a leg a piece, because soon as the man bought the food and people start making plates and putting them up. Yeah, I said it. And if you don't like it, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I was wrong. But anyway, any kind of donations you would like to make, I'm about to play the video for Coach again. How you doing? Come on in. The Come On In Sports Network invites you to join us for the 9th annual Kelly Mills Fundamentals of Football Camp. This year's camp will be Saturday, June 29th at 9 a.m. at Harrell Playground in New Orleans, Louisiana. Donations are welcome, and if you would like to be a guest speaker, please contact the legendary Coach Rock at 504-417-2529. See you then. All right, family, again, if you would like to contribute to Coach Rock's football camp, that number is 504-417-2529. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Well, it's a recording, they didn't let me do it. But I lost my train of thought right quick, family. I apologize. But yeah, family, this has been your juice of the day. I'm DOLPH Jackson, and like always, love and who that. And
The Come On In Sports Network.